Hey YouTube, hey Bold and the Beautiful fans. So we saw today Hope asking Finn if he's going to be Deacon's best man, if Finn is going to be at the wedding, okay? And so Finn now, and Hope too, but Finn more so, has a lot to think about. A lot is on Finn's mind. Of course, we saw Sheila today come over to Finn's office, and Finn basically is trying to put down some boundaries, right? And telling Sheila that she can't just come over to the office all the time. And so now Finn after Steffy's ultimatum, it's either Sheila or me. Finn is basically now he's choosing Steffy, but deep down inside too, he still has this connection to Sheila. And to Finn's credit, he told Sheila that he does wish her the best, and he even offered, or suggested that Sheila consider getting some counseling too. So we'll see if Sheila does that. I think that would be a good idea for Sheila, to do that, because that could then be another building block for her and Finn, maybe to build their relationship. But it looks like Finn now is going to have to be very careful and kind of play this balancing act between doing what Steffy wants and then doing maybe what he wants deep down inside, okay, and having some sort of relationship with Sheila, his birth mother. So Deacon wants Finn to be his best man, and of course Deacon wants Hope to be Sheila's maid of honor. So, and Hope told Finn today that, that decision would be easier if he were there, if Finn were there. And of course, we saw the confrontation too between Hope and Steffy, and Hope is still, very disgruntled over what happened with, Steffy interfering. Hope believes that Steffy was interfering in her and Thomas's relationship, and that Steffy's the reason why Thomas and Douglas left to Paris. Okay, so there's still that idea of vengeance, right, that maybe Hope has. Hope even told Steffy weeks ago, right, that that Steffy will regret that. So and we don't really know, it's not like Hope has got this plan or this scheme that she's doing, but maybe on some level she's trying to get closer to Finn. Of course, Hope and Finn have a good friendship. But we'll get more into that in a second. But it looks like, Sheila and Deacon's only allies right now, right, are Hope and Finn. So we'll have to see if Finn's going to be there. My guess is that Finn will show up at the last minute, right? And of course, in the preview for this coming week, we see Finn telling Steffy that nothing's ever going to come between, their family. So we'll have to see if Finn is telling Steffy about the wedding and about how Deacon wants him to be the best man, and if Finn's gonna go. Of course, Steffy, doesn't want that, but will Finn do it anyway? That's the big question. Will Finn defy, Steffy and go against her? And of course, in the preview, we also see Tom, right, is officiating the wedding. So it's going to be really cool to see Tom back. And why not, right? Because if it wasn't for Tom, of course, played by Clint Howard, then Deacon and Finn, would never have known where Sheila was in that abandoned building. So it'll be fun to see Tom back. So looking forward to that. And of course, the wedding is this week, this Thursday. May 23rd, okay? So you don't want to miss that. And rumor has it there's going to be some curveballs, okay? Some twists and turns at the wedding. So what could happen? My guess is that, Finn he'll be torn over this, and then he shows up at the last minute, okay? And that Hope, I think Hope will probably be there. And we saw in the preview too, Hope basically telling, Brooke and Ridge that she's already lost so much. She's lost Thomas and Douglas, right? They went to Paris. So, and Hope is probably blaming Steffy for that too. So this could be a long-term plan on Hope's part to get with Finn. And about that, if Finn and Hope, like if Finn does show up at the wedding and Steffy finds out, and let's say Steffy, has had enough, right? And then she kicks Finn out of the house, okay? And Finn has to go somewhere, right? So he goes to a motel, okay? And he's alone, okay? And Hope shows up, right? This could be the vehicle to where Hope now and Finn, have an affair. Okay, and so this could be that turning point. Okay, you know, Steffy usually, you know, she'll go to Paris herself, but I don't think that's what's going to happen this time. And of course, I don't know any of this. If this is just me guessing here, but at some point we have to assume that Hope and Finn will cross that line, right? And they'll have an affair, okay? Because they're kind of being pushed towards each other now, right? And if Finn does show up and Steffy has had enough, then there'll be consequences for Finn, and Finn will either be, you know, alone at the Cliff House, or Steffy will kick him out, right? And it's one way or another, he'll be alone, and Hope will be there for him. Okay, so things seem to be leading in that direction. Okay, but we can expect twists and turns, which means that expect the unexpected. Okay, Finn showing up at the last minute, that may not be so unpredictable, but we have to keep in mind Lee, right? Lee threatened Sheila right after Sheila's practical joke on Lee at the hospital, and a lot of people, you know, are saying that's evidence that Sheila hasn't changed. Okay, but and a lot of people are saying that, you know, Sheila hadn't, and it's hard to defend Sheila. It really is hard to defend Sheila. She's done some really awful things. Okay, but a lot of characters on soap operas do those things. Sheila has traditionally been a villain, and she's one of the most soap opera villains of all time. But Bill Spencer has always been kind of a villain. We've seen him reformed a little bit. Quinn, you know, she did some bad things. We kind of saw her reform too a little bit. So it's not impossible for villains. Deacon, right? Deacon was always considered a bad guy, and so he's been reformable, and that's really been the whole point of Deacon and Sheila too. It's to show that people can change, and it's hard to see that with Sheila. But you know, Sheila had been doing well. You know, she was working at Il Giardino. Everything was going fine until the sugar incident and all that. So, you know, playing a practical joke on Lee, and of course, you know, Sheila did some bad things to Lee too. You know, but again, it's hard to defend Sheila. But I will admit, I do like Sheila. I like who she is today. Okay, I didn't necessarily side with her years ago. Okay, but who she is today, I think she's fun. I think she is changing, or has changed on some level. And of course, we see a preview. We see the wedding, and you know, Sheila's wearing a black gown, right? And she looks great, and Deacon's there, and Tom's there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But we don't see, right, who's in the audience, so we don't know if Hope is there. My guess is that Hope's going to be there, and that maybe, hopefully, Finn is there, but if not, maybe he shows up in the last second. But we can also expect twists and turns and some curveballs too. So maybe Lee shows up, right? Lee threatened Sheila. Maybe Lee is going to try to put a stop to the wedding, or ruin, you know, Sheila's big day. And Steffy could do that too, because we saw Steffy confront Sheila too this past week. And, you know, Steffy basically told Sheila that, you know, you're going to have to answer to me, right? And so Steffy might want to ruin Sheila's wedding day the way, you know, Sheila, you know, years ago, right, several years ago, ruined Steffy's big day when Steffy and Finn were getting married. And that was the big reveal when Sheila, you know, spoke to Finn and the Forrester estate on the guest house, right? And she came out of the shadows and spoke to Finn the first time in that great moment. And then Finn brought Sheila over to the mansion where the wedding was, and there was that big moment, that big great scene. Okay, so maybe Steffy now wants to ruin Sheila's big day, so we'll have to see if that happens. And of course, the wedding's at Il Giardino. Why not, right? So it'd be fun to see if, like, maybe Paul is there, or some other of the people at Il Giardino, or if it's just, you know, Deacon, Tom, and Sheila, and maybe Hope, and then maybe Finn shows up. But what do you think? Who do you think is going to be in the audience? Do you think Finn's going to show up in the last minute? Is he going to go against Steffy's wishes? Is Steffy going to find out? Is she going to show up, see Finn there? There's a confrontation. Is Lee going to show up? And something happens. we'll have to see, but we can definitely expect some twists and turns. So it's going to be really exciting to see what happens. But the wedding is coming up this week, May 23rd, so you don't want to miss it. And let me know what you think is going to happen at the wedding. And do you like that Sheila and Deacon are getting married? And let me know your thoughts. But hey, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.